Hello, YouTube fun people, yoga people, people ready to get a little calm on. It is Saturday morning, it's our first 10 a.m. start. If you're here with me live, that is until further notice our start time on Saturdays. We are also featuring this as a hybrid donation only class. So if you happen to be in Vermont, especially if you're living here and vaccinated, we have 30 yoga pods in studio, ready and waiting for you next time we have class. Studio schedule at Salt and Sand Studios, my name is Karen, by the way, is all hybrid until further notice. So we can fit 3 in the studio, and then Tuesday evening and Friday evening at 5:30, we also have Zoom. And Saturdays, we also have our YouTube yoga intermissions. This will remain a 50-minute class. Today, we got some yumminess in store. And that yumminess is a miniature spa yoga. Normally a 75-minute class. We're taking it down to 50. So I'm pretty excited about joining you on the mat for this. It's kind of an unusual way to start the day, but given that it's early October and the weather's starting to transition, the leaves are transitioning in most places, not all places, and our bodies are starting to transition. Speaking of which, on the 16th of this month, there are still a couple of spots left for our autumn retreat, which is taking place actually in Massachusetts with Jennifer DiLorenzo Counseling, Salt and Sand Studios together. It's a combination Qigong, journaling, meditation, yoga, some yummy warming food. We're going to go ahead and start on our backs today. Finding comfort in whatever way makes sense. If you feel that you need something under your knees, grab that, or something under your neck. Or you can go ahead and stretch the legs nice and long. Space between the feet. And then draw the arms overhead. They might have to be in a cactus shape, and see if the backs of the hands can come to the earth. Hook your fingers and make like a kid's turkey shape. So the fingers nice and wide. Hook your thumbs. We'll take a full body pencil stretch. Draw the legs together. Reach the toes forward and the fingers back. Breathe in as deeply as you can. Open the mouth. Release it all. On an inhale, lift your arms for the sky. On an exhale, the hands come down by your sides. Bring some space between the feet. I need to slide a little farther back on my mat. And rock your feet inward and outward until they sort of splay outward. Bring a hand to the belly and a hand to the heart, doesn't matter which one. We're going to focus on our breath. Just noticing without changing the breath, how it changes the shape of your body. And after 3 breaths, natural ones, we'll start to deepen the breath. With the deep breath, you're working to puff the belly out and fill the low back as well. Expand the rib cage all the way around. And lift the heart. All the way up, you feel this to your throat. And then you settle the breath outward, maybe with an extra little squeeze in the belly to release all the air from the lungs. Take that again, full body belly breath. And release it. Really start to feel this in the side bodies and the back body, not just the front of the body. A nice squeeze of the belly to release all the air. And one more time. Place the hands wherever it feels okay. That could be on your hip creases, or maybe the hands are by your sides. I like them by my sides because then I can flop the palms upward, and that gives you some opening through the collarbones, the shoulders, the chest. This time we'll take 3 cleansing breaths. So the same sort of full body belly breath, but we're going to release everything out the mouth. Long, full, gorgeous breath in. Drop your jaw, let it go. And the more vocal you are, the more the body has a cue to respond with relaxation. Breathe in. And one more time. We'll glide both of the feet onto the earth. Bring the feet as wide as your mat and let the knees touch one another. Lift your head off the mat, tuck the chin toward your chest, and lengthen the back of the neck. And then slowly unroll the head back down to the earth. Start to feel the change in the low spine, the low back across the sacrum as you point the tailbone a little toward the sky. You might need to activate the belly button a little bit inward toward your spine. Heel toe the feet so that they are right in front of your glutes. And go ahead and take the right knee in toward your heart. Give it a good squeeze. And see if you can press the big toe mound of the left foot into the earth so the knee's not splaying outward. Uncurl your toes. And on the right side, go ahead and find ankle circles, both directions. 3 to 5. Then open and close your toes. Really feel the freedom of the foot. And use your right hand. Take the left hand maybe to your belly or your heart. Right hand on your right kneecap and guide it into circles. They could be small. They could be small, medium, large, mama bear, papa bear, baby bear, not in that order. And take 5 in one direction. And then move in the opposite direction. Finding a little bit of even Stevenness. Those asymmetrical postures, we want to be as symmetrical as possible. And then go ahead and bring that knee in toward the right armpit. And then right over the hip. You're going to shift that knee forward a little bit and bring your shin parallel to the earth. Foot as if you're stepping on a wall in front of you. So now you're sort of squared up. Your thigh perpendicular to your torso and your shin perpendicular to your thigh. Then go ahead and lengthen your leg right from that spot. And see if you can lift it a little bit, the toes toward the back of your head. You might bring the left hand back to the mat. Press the big toe onto the left foot into the earth. Draw the low back toward the earth, and then really slowly extend and lower your right leg until it's just a couple of inches above the earth. Reach the heel forward, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the hammies, and slowly lift that leg back toward the sky. We're going to hug that right knee back in, and then use the right hand to guide it outward. The outer part of the knee or the leg might or might not come to the earth. We're starting to open up the inner hip a little bit more. The adductors. Using the hand, guide the knee back toward your chest, and then cross the right knee over the left, almost as if you were sitting in a chair crossing your legs. And heel toe the left foot out to the left edge of your mat. Draw both knees over to the right, finding a little low twist Arms might draw out in a T. The gaze could move over toward the left hand. The nose and chin help that happen. Nose points back toward the sky. The left foot heel toes back toward the left glute. And then knee points toward the sky. We'll hug the right knee into the heart one more time. Maybe squeeze it with both hands. Maybe walk the hands down to the shin to do that. And place the right foot on the floor. We move into all that same stuff on the left side. Left leg squeezes in. Knee toward the heart. Thigh compressing the belly. Ankle circles. Don't forget to pay attention to the big toe mound of the right foot. Opposite direction for your ankle circles. Open and close the toes, maybe curl them into a toe fist. Right hand to the belly, left hand to your left knee, and draw circles in the air with that left knee. Take them as wide as it feels good. Maybe you play around. Yoga's a bit of an exploration, a bit of discovery. What is the body getting up to now? How can the mind and the breath engage the body? And how can we do all of this with some level of kindness? Non-judgment. Knee hugs in. And then we bring the left knee directly over the left hip so the thigh is perpendicular to the torso. And the shin lifts a little bit so it is perpendicular to the thigh. Keeping that placement of the left hip, you're going to extend your left heel up and forward. Reach, reach, reach. Press the low back into the earth. Toes toward your kneecap, heel away from you. And slowly we lower that foot so the leg is hovering over the earth just a couple inches. Very gently, on an exhale, lift the leg straight toward the sky. Finding a little stretch in the hamstring. Then we bend the knee, draw it in toward the left armpit. Use the left hand to help the knee, guide the knee out to the left. Ah, that feels so nice. The whole hip mobilized. The knee draws back into the heart. And we cross it over the right knee. Let that situation settle itself a bit. And walk the right foot out to the right edge of your mat. Drop both knees over to the left. And if you desire, arms flop outward, T-shaped gaze over the right hand. Nose points back toward the sky. Heel toe the right foot in so it's in front of the right glute. This time we draw both knees in toward the heart. Give them a nice squeeze. Even Steven things out. And create knee circles again in the air. If you decide you want to cross your ankles for this, when you move to the other direction, you'll switch the cross of your ankles. And then virtual legs up the wall. Hands plant under your low back. Maybe they stack. The legs extend toward the sky. Imagine now that the legs are super duper heavy and they're dropping into your hips. That can help settle the low back as well as extend the hamstrings a bit. Reach the heels toward the sky. Reach the toes toward your hips. And draw your knees into your heart in whatever way your body guides you. Maybe it's rolling onto your side first. You come to a seat. Extend the spine. Let the backs of the hands rest on your knees. Draw the belly in and the chin down. Eyes are closed or maybe gazing forward and down. Notice how the body feels after a little bit of opening up in the hips, a bit of opening up the nadis, the energetic channels, a little bit of cleansing breath. Connecting now to the sense of touch, maybe the backs of the hands on the knees, the outer edges of the feet on the earth, the breath on your upper lip, the clothing on your arms or your legs or your back. Touch. Hone in now on the sense of sound. What do you hear? What is near to you? What is far away from a sound perspective? And take a moment to listen as far away as you can until the sound that you are hearing sort of disappears from your soundscape. And then switch to another sound. Notice now any scent or odor or aroma in the foreground. Perhaps if you're like me, you lit some incense. Or maybe it's the scent of your hair or your skin. Let's see if you can peel back that layer and uncover some underlying scent, odor, or aroma in your space. So connected in this olfactory system is the sense of taste. Harder to conjure up, but maybe there's a taste memory, or maybe there's a little bit of saltiness, sweetness, bitterness, or sourness on the tongue, or perhaps vestiges of a cup of tea, or coffee, or breakfast. And sense of sight. For even with our eyes closed, maybe it is shadows on the eyelids or color, texture, images that come to mind, the mind's eye. Maybe light seeping through the cracks or the lids. Or perhaps there's insight. The human form is the only form that experiences the world the way we do, with all these senses, with our ability to be intuitive, plus the senses. Consider now an intention for the remainder of practice, although we have been practicing about 50% of the class already. But consider what brought you to your mat, or find a dedication to a being or a way of being, or set an intention. We'll celebrate that with the sound of Om, as if we could line our space, pad our space, create a little inside softness in the space we are in, using our intention, riding out on the sound of Om. You can use just an exhale if you prefer not to chant. Palms draw together at the heart. Collarbones open up, belly in and up, knees drop. We'll take a cleansing breath followed by that sort of almost 3 syllables of Om, the O, Breathe in. Let it go out your mouth. Long, beautiful breath. Eyes might flicker open if you like. We're going to shift onto the right leg and sweep the left leg over to the left. So your left heel is behind your left glute. So you're in a bit of an odd shape with the right shin parallel to the front of the mat and the left heel behind you. So the inner left knee is on the earth. We're going to work the hands over toward the right to take a little twist, pressing the left knee to the earth. And then we'll sweep the hands around toward the left shin and knee and find a twist that way. Inhale, draw through center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, twist to the left. Come back to center. We're going to switch that up. The shin of the left leg parallel to the front of your mat, and the knee drops out to the left. You shift over onto that left thigh to swing the right leg behind you. So the inner knee of the right leg comes to the mat and the right heel comes to the mat. Hands come over to the left side. Breathe in and out. Inhale, draw through center. Exhale, twist to the right. Hands can take a hold of the left knee, the right knee or thigh, the ankle. Breathe in and out. Inhale, draw through center. Exhale, twist to the left again. And completing our second round, we move over to the right with the torso and the shoulders and the heart. One more time, inhale through center, exhale, twist to the left. And inhale through center, exhale, twist to the right. Come back to your seated posture, this time with the soles of the feet together, a nice big diamond inside your legs. We're going to find it's sort of a modified butterfly, modified starfish, but with a movement of a butterfly. So the hands can come to the shins or to your hips, whatever feels fine. And we're going to work the knees slowly up toward the center and slowly down and out. In and up and down and out. Again, in and up and down and out. Sneak the wrists underneath the ankles or the calves and bring the palms or the fingers to the tops of the feet or the tops of the ankles. We're going to shift the heart forward, forward, forward. Use the elbows to press the knees and the thighs away and down. Point your tailbone toward the earth. Reach the heart forward. Breathe in. Open up the collarbones and scoop the belly in on the breath out to round the spine. Drop your head. Starfish pose. Lift the heart back upward. Bring your hands behind you and scoot your sitting bones closer toward your heels. So we're going to take a smaller butterfly now. Hands can come to the feet or the ankles. Sit up nice and tall. Open up the collarbones. Imagine the collarbones are part of the wings. And then slowly draw the knees up and back down. If you like, you can take the hands outside the knees. Slowly draw the knees up and in and out and down. Hands can guide. 2 more times. And on the next time, we're going to find our way into a tabletop, working to all fours, hands and knees, and finding a long, strong back. And the way we do that is by extending the whole torso and drawing the navel in and up toward the spine, toward the vertebra. A little roundedness between the shoulders. Tops of the feet are on the earth and we tap them, finding a little rhythm for ourselves. And then keeping the hands where they are, press the sitting bones toward the heels, finding length. See if you can lift onto the heels of the hands and press into them. Drop your head toward your knees. Round your spine a lot. And walk the hands forward a little bit. Come to your forearms. So you're in a forearm tabletop. We'll create cat-cow shapes from here. Drawing the belly in, round to the spine. This is a breath out. Press the floor away with the shins, the tops of the feet, the forearms, the fingertips. Drop your head. Cat shape. Halloween cat. And then a cow. Dropping the belly on the breath in, lifting the hips and the gaze. Imagine you're sort of drawing the mat backward with your forearms and hands and elbows. Cat and cow. And another round, cat and cow. Return to a neutral spine. And come all the way onto your belly into a sphinx. So you're drawing the legs long behind you. They can either zip up like a tree trunk, or the feet can spread wide to the edges of the mat. We're working here to bring the bony hips to the earth, have the elbows underneath the shoulders, and draw the navel up and away. Press the tops of the feet into the earth. Again, imagine that you're pulling the mat backward with the hands and the forearms and the elbows. And that helps the heart reach forward and up. See what's happening if you're collapsing into your shoulders or your collarbones. Draw the shoulders wide like you're a football player. Chin can tuck a little bit. We breathe here, lifting the heart. 3, 2, and 1. Draw all the way to the mat. Elbows come outward and the forehead comes to the earth. Bring one cheek to the mat. Take 2 breaths here. Settle the shoulders. And flip to the other side. Opposite cheek lands on the mat for 2 breaths. Forehead returns to the mat. Hands come underneath the shoulders. We find our way back into our tabletop. Here we walk the hands forward a couple of inches to find the downward facing dog, the DD. Hips lift, pedal in, find your space, find your place, find your opening. Your practice, not mine, so do whatever works for you. Rise up to the tiptoes. As you breathe out, press your chest back to your thighs. Keep the heels away from the earth. Take another breath in. And slowly, hands move back toward the toes. And eventually the heels will draw to the mat. You're in a forward fold at the back of your mat. Inhale, float all the way to standing. Like you're unraveling, take your time. Arms lift high. Bend your knees into a chair pose, Utkatasana. And we're going to keep the belly in and up as we sweep and drop downward, almost like the trunk of an elephant. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, rise back up. Like the trunk of an elephant, knees bent, chair pose. Exhale, draw the belly and let it go. Hands draw behind you. Inhale, lift back up, use the belly. This time we'll stay down. Knees bend, a little chair pose. Breathe in. Exhale, drop it all. Ragdoll or interlace the fingers behind your head. Or imagine that the arms and head are part of the elephant trunk and sway. Find some stillness. Glide the hands to the shins. Press the shins away, halfway up. Ardha Uttanasana. Shoulders toward the hips, belly in and up. Hamstrings working. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way to standing. Arms lift overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Bring to mind one of your senses, one sensory experience. And as you slowly walk to the front of the mat, toe heel, toe heel, toe heel, experience whatever that is: sight, sound, taste, smell, touch. And once to the front of your mat, open the eyes. Find a steady gaze, a drishti, single point of focus. And we'll shift some weight into the left foot and lift the right knee in toward the belly. Thigh parallel to the earth, shin perpendicular to the thigh, foot perpendicular to the shin. Very slowly squeezing the left glutes and hamstrings. We're going to draw that knee backward, keeping the same shape of the leg. Extend the leg behind so the toes are on the earth, and then sweep the leg out to the right. So your toes are on the earth now. We're going to lift the toes to bring the foot more parallel to the earth and slowly lift that foot up and down on the right side of the body. Squeeze the left glutes, squeeze the right glutes, and then drop the foot back to the earth. Shake it out if need be. We'll take all that on the other side. A shift of the weight into the right foot to lift the left knee upward. Everybody parallel and perpendicular. Right glutes helping out, right hamstrings helping out, belly helping out. We slowly draw the left knee to meet the right, keeping the shape of the left leg. Squeezing, then extend the left leg behind so the toes land on the mat and sweep that leg out to the left. So the left toes now are, generally speaking, outside your mat. You're going to lift the toes off the ground, really reach the heel away from you, and slowly pump the leg up and down using both sets of glutes. And then bring the left foot down to the mat. Beautiful. We're going to find our hands behind our back. Interlace your fingers or hook them and open up your collarbones. Keep the knuckles or the thumbs on your low back. And then slowly on an exhale, draw the arms long, knuckles toward the earth. Open up the collarbones, lift from the top of the pelvis all the way to the breastbone, the solar plexus. Open up the collarbone, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Sit into a chair pose, modified here. Rock onto your heels, lift the toes off the mat, spread them nice and wide, and then bring them back down. We'll find our forward fold from here, keeping the hands interlaced. Exhale, hands release to the earth. Find a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Again, rise to standing. You might use a breath out, which helps to Create some core strength. Arms lift up. And we find ourselves in a twist. Hands to your heart, a gentle twist to the right. We're working here from the navel, not the hips, so the hips attempt to remain square to the front of your mat. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, come through center. Hands drop to Dasana. Beautiful mountain. Your mountain covered in verdant grass. Any color green that your mind desires. And slowly with your breath, beautiful, amazing, stupendous flowers start to dot the green all the way up to your neck. You are the creator of this incredible mountain, full of life, full of joy, full of all the beauty of experiencing the world as the human form does. All kinds of sounds, scents, odors, light, color, images, sounds, taste. Sweep your arms high. Exhale into a forward fold over your legs. Ardha Uttanasana, your half lift for a long flat back. Exhale, hands plant. Guide the left leg to the back of the mat. Runner's lunge. Get nice and long in this lunge, and then drop your back knee to the mat. Let the right knee come over the left ankle. Back toes untuck. We're going to sweep into a twist, left hand down, right arm high. We're just taking moments here. Sink the pelvis forward toward the front of your mat. And if your right shoulder is grumpy like mine is, you can bring the heel of the hand to the low back, twisting from the navel around the spine like it's orbiting. Right hand comes to the mat. Just for a moment, we're going to shift the left hip backward, draw the right leg long, and then float the right toes off the mat. Press into the heel. Rock the hands forward again. Bring them in front of your right foot. Tuck your back toes under. Lift both hips. And then you're in this sort of long runner's lunge. You're going to, again, press the floor away, lengthening your front leg and floating your right toes off the mat. Drop your head. Right foot plants. Step both feet together. Inhale, rise high. Press palms together overhead. Take another long breath in. Exhale, a tilt over toward the right. So you're finding a little opening along the left side of the body. Lift the heart. Press the outer edge of the left foot into the earth. Lift up, breath in. Exhale, a tilt over to the left. Inhale, come high. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Right foot glides way to the back of the mat. Take your time finding length. And drop that knee to the mat. We're not moving into Anjaneyasana, but we want that sort of shape with the low body. Right fingertips down, left arm high twist. Spine long each breath in to enable the twist on the breath out. Press energy into the shoelace side of the back foot. Drop the left hand. Draw your right hip back toward your right heel. Hands might walk back. Left leg extends. Left toes peel off the mat. Heart, collarbones. The sole of the left foot plants. Hands creep forward. Back toes tuck. Both legs extend. Walk your hands back. Lengthen the front leg a little bit more as you bring the right heel down toward the mat and float the left toes off the mat. Left foot plants. Back foot steps up to meet the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back for a high plank just for a moment. Find your plank. Drop your knees. Stack the hips over the knees. Untuck your toes. Inchworm pose, aka puppy dog. Hips stay right over the knees, hands walk forward till the forehead, chin, or chest is on the mat. If shoulders are grumpy, elbows move out to the edge of the mat and the hands can stack. Head, chin, or chest should be on something. Hands, a block, a cushion, the mat. Return to your intention or your dedication or whatever it was that you said at the beginning of class. And imagine that you're allowing that intention or dedication to pour from your head to your heart and into the earth. Sharing that purpose, that meaningfulness, that value down and out, allowing the earth to come back to you with its energy. Child's pose, draw the belly in, the tailbone down, send the sitting bones toward the heels. You can bring the knees wide or narrow. If you're in Balasana 1 with narrow knees, you might bring the top of the head to the earth rather than the forehead and sweep the hands behind you so they come toward your feet or legs. Beautiful, nourishing position where the breath is extending the spine top to bottom and side to side, especially the low back. Big, huge breath in. And a generous exhale out the mouth. Hands plant under the shoulders. So you can come to sitting on your heels. If this is problematic for your knees, you might fold over your mat, place something underneath them, or you could even roll up your blanket or a towel and place it under, behind your knees. Bring the sitting bones back down. We're going to work our way into a twist. Arms float out in front and they lock back into your shoulders. As you bend your elbows, bring the fingertips together and the palms toward your heart. You can interlace the fingers here. Belly in and up, tailbone down, take a big breath in. On an exhale, twist to the right. See if you can keep your sitting bones on your heels or hips parallel to the earth, to the front of your mat. Breathe in. A breath out allows you to twist. Head moves around in the same direction. Once again, inhale, long spine. Exhale, twisty spine. Releasing toxins. And the right arm might unfurl like a flag behind you. I have a nice little wall to help me out. We come back to center, palms onto the chest, interlace the fingers the opposite way, breathe in. Exhale, twist left. Next breath out, left arm unfurls. Exhale, return to center. Make your way to a tabletop. Find your way to a seat. We're going to work our way all the way down to our backs for one final posture before Shavasana. Soles of the feet can come to the earth, knees bend. Sit up nice and long and tall. And slowly guide the spine, unrolling, unzipping, if you will, all the way down to the mat. We'll find two more postures, actually. We're going to go ahead and bring the feet as wide as the mat again. Drop the knees together. And then slowly find your twist or your torso rotation, bringing your knees over to one side and then the other. You can start like a windshield wiper, not quick, but fairly short duration in your cadence. And then eventually, after 2 or 3 rounds, you'll drop the knees all the way to one side and take 3 breaths. And move then to the opposite side, nice and slowly, for 3 breaths. They point back toward the sky. The knees then gather in toward the heart, and it's your choice. You might find just squeezing the knees in feels good. Maybe you take a happy baby, or maybe you find knee circles. You could also always move into a Supta Baddha Konasana. And then make yourself comfortable. Moving into a Shavasana shape that works for you, maybe with a blanket over you or perhaps something underneath your knees, or maybe sitting up with your back against the wall feels better for you. And here in Shavasana, we find our way to unity, unifying all the bases of the practice: the breath, the mind, the heart, the body movement, the intention. Take a huge breath into the nose like you're breathing in from your toes. A huge, full, complete release. Move into a natural breath. And come back to rotation of this consciousness through the senses, the sense of touch. Anywhere the body is connected with the earth, let it settle in. Let it feel like gravity is giving you a hug. The sense of smell, as if that's the only way you could experience this moment is through your sense of smell. Taste. Sound. And sight or insight. Now let it all go as if you were floating. Maybe allowing yourself to feel float in a body of water that is very supportive, or maybe in space with no concerns about sunburn or coldness or being able to breathe, just floating in the space that makes sense for you. Slowly find your way back with a deepening breath to a sense of touch, of connection with your mat, with the floor, with the earth. Take another generous breath in. Let it go out your mouth and gently roll on to one side. Staying on your side for a moment, revisit your intention or your dedication. And consider one word that you would like to characterize the rest of your evening or day with, depending on when you're practicing. One word, maybe it's a word of kindness. And slowly, with your eyes closed, press yourself to a comfortable seat. We'll ignite those words, combining them with the merit of this practice and all the beauty of your sensory experience, your full body experience in your 50 minutes today. We'll do so using a chant of Om. So we'll spread the arms wide on a breath in. We'll remain there for the exhale. As you inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Imagine the hands have found their home there, almost like they are floating in your heart space. Breathe all the air out of your lungs. Inhale deeply for a chant of Om. Thumb knuckles connect at the center forehead. May you live in this human experience, enjoying each moment, sharing kindness and compassion. Namaste. Thank you all for practicing today. It's wonderful to be able to offer this practice where you have a chance to donate or not, depending on your available funds. And also remember that for the present time, until further notice, we are doing this hybrid. So you're welcome to come into the studio if you are vaccinated. And you can donate on our website. And don't forget about our retreat in the northern part of Massachusetts, South Hamilton, on a horse farm in a yurt with Jennifer DiLorenzo Counseling and me from Salt and Sand Studios. You can find it on my website under events, saltandsandstudios.com. I hope you have a wonderful remainder of your day or evening. My name is Karen. Hope to see you again soon.